few weeks, someone on the internet proudly announces that they've discovered the grand hypocrisy of human nature. Here it is. You say you're against identity politics, but you have an identity. Huh, sticks and stones. Congratulations, Sherlock. Next, you'll discover water is wet. And the latest champion of this profound insight is none other than Nick Fuentes, who tweeted his usual gotcha about none other than Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro has spent about 10 years fighting against identity politics. Then he married an Israeli, moved to a 99% Jewish neighborhood, and devoted his entire career to supporting Israel. He's playing for his own team, but he says you're evil if you play for yours. The problem? Well, Fuentes is comparing apples to nuclear warheads, and he hopes you're too distracted to notice, because he knows. He knows. He's not stupid. Let's break down the trick. Identity is human. Identity politics is a power tool. Identity is who you are, your family, your culture, your religion, your history, your quirks. It's rooted in life, not ideology. Identity politics is what happens when someone grabs your identity and says, good, now use that to vote how I tell you. And if you don't, you're a traitor. Identity is organic. Identity politics is engineered. It's the difference between having a home and joining a gang. It's a lot like the difference between a word evolving into another meaning and taking a word and actively pushing to change its meaning and intentionally trying to change a word's meaning to fit your narrative. We've all seen it, racism, how one day a woman named Patricia Bidel woke up and decided that now it means power plus privilege, etc. Fuentes' entire argument depends on pretending these two things are identical. A Jew living near other Jews? Identity. A Jew supporting the survival of Israel? Identity. A Jew marrying within their own culture? Identity. These are normal human behaviors found everywhere, from Armenians to Zoroastrians to Navajo to Catholics to Koreans. If that's identity politics, then 99% of humanity is guilty. Fuentes turns identity into identity politics because he needs to frame every natural cultural behavior as proof that everybody secretly agrees with him about ethno-nationalism. That's the whole game. Let's be brutally clear. Shapiro's words, yes, I'm Jewish, yes, that matters to me, but politically we live under universal rules. Shapiro's position has always been constant. Shapiro's position has always been consistent. The context is what people ignore. Shapiro's whole shtick is identity matters privately. Universal civic rules matter publicly. And the state shouldn't be built on ethnic hierarchy. You can disagree with him all day, but he's not hiding that. Fuentes' worldview, ethnicity should determine political power and national hierarchy. Identity is the foundation of the state. Racial hierarchy, a political loyalty organized by ethnicity. That's not playing for your own team. That's tribal supremacism dressed as victimhood. These are not cousins. These are not siblings. These are not even on speaking terms. One is personal identity. The other is political collectivism with an ethnic center of gravity. Fuentes pretends that they're the same because his ideology falls apart the moment you recognize humans can have a culture without demanding the state revolve around it. He says they're playing for their team. It's a shallow argument. By Fuentes' logic, if you marry within your own culture, celebrate your own holidays, speak your heritage language, support your ancestral homeland, then you're practicing identity politics. No. That's called being a functional human with a pulse. Identity politics is when you demand the government reorganize itself around your identity and punish others for not sharing it. if they demand the state legally enforce their group's primacy. That's identity politics. If you can't tell the difference, you shouldn't be in the same room as a political conversation. Here's the uncomfortable truth for the fanboys. Fuentes doesn't actually want you to embrace your identity. He wants you to submit to the identity he assigns you. In his worldview, individuality is a liability. He needs you to behave like a demographic chess piece. That's why he flattens everything into team sports. It makes his ideology feel inevitable. But identity politics is only inevitable if you strip people of nuance and then treat them like a census category with Wi-Fi. Identity is built from inside out. Identity politics is imposed from outside in. Identity reflects your lived life. Identity politics weaponizes your life for someone else's agenda. Identity grows. Identity politics recruits. Identity humanizes. Identity politics dehumanizes. Because you're no longer you. You're a category to be harvested for political gain. When Nick Fuentes accuses Shapiro of identity politics for having a Jewish wife and living in a Jewish neighborhood, he's not espousing hypocrisy. He's exposing his inability or unwillingness to understand the difference between culture and political tribalism. Identity is universal. Identity politics is optimal and often toxic. One belongs in your personal life. The other belongs in the dumpster behind every political science department. Confusing the two is either ignorance or manipulation. Fuentes is rarely ignorant. Like and subscribe as if you were hiding behind a garga tree right now and you had to like and subscribe in order for them to not see you hiding comfortably behind your garga tree. Serious.